Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Podcast. And luckily for all you guys out there listening, Jack Hunter's not with us today. Instead, I brought over my very, very nasty co-host from Two Guys One Crypt, Chuck Nasty. How's it going, man?
What's going on, dude? Doing all right.
Not too much. I'm excited I get to talk to you 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Talk.
Yeah, it's going to be 3.
So how you been, though?
Oh, dude, been doing all right. Just been running errands all day and just been trying to chill out the last hour. Ate some pizza. Yeah.
That's fair. So there are a couple of things I want to do before I introduce our guest and talk about this fucking episode, man, which it's an episode. It's a fun one. So one of the things I want to say, though, is Ron, dude, a good friend of the show, Ron Pertee. You guys need to go check out some of his merch over at ronhasawebsite.com. He has some pretty cool shirts. This is the Fuck Ron Pertee style, which is a fun one. I like it. And also, I wanted to give a pretty cool shout out to a friend of the show, Kaylee, who she's actually has a GoFundMe right now. She's trying to start up a restaurant, and she has a Facebook group. But what she's doing in this group is she has these prizes, and a lot of them are very much so horror oriented, and they do raffles for them. So you can, you get a chance at being able to get something at a cheaper cost, possibly. And I wanted to go ahead and show everybody something that I just won, so give everybody an idea of what you could win if you join her group and take part of some of the what she calls razzles on her page over there. So she wrapped. Yeah, right. So what I won is the Grindhouse board game. So yeah, definitely something I gotta check out. Oh yeah, this is something I was already wanting to get myself. So if you haven't yet, go over there, check out what Kaylee has going on with her group over there. And all the money that she's raising right now is going towards making a horror-themed restaurant in Salem, Massachusetts. So
sweet.
Yeah, pretty cool cause, that's for sure. Here's Ron. Yeah, fuck Ron for tea. So you get razzles, but no dazzles. I feel if you ask, you could possibly get some dazzles as well. I'm not sure. And we got Avery chiming in. Hey guys, how's it going, Mr. Avery Crumbly? And oh wow, that's a big one. And David's chiming in, covering half of our screen. This episode was directed by William Friedkin, who directed the 1973 classic The Exorcist. It seems there have been many horror directors who have directed several episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Tom Holland, not the actor who played Peter Parker. Yes, of course. Yes. We're familiar with the real Tom Holland, not that fucking imposter. But yes, he did Fright Night, Child's Play, fucking awesome. But yeah, he did quite a few. Yeah, and Toby Hooper as well. Yes, he did some as well, which is pretty cool. And funny enough that you mentioned Toby Hooper and Texas Chainsaw, because our guest for this week is somebody who we actually had on recently with Two Guys One Crypt, and that is Steve Merlo. How's it going, Steve?
Hi guys, thanks for having me on. Doing great.
Oh, great. Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. So how are you doing?
Can't complain. Busy day.
Right. So here's a partially sarcastic question for you from the audience. Wait, Toby Hooper directed was it say Massacre? Or those are explanation marks. What a day, man. So how's everything going with you, man?
Like I said, can't complain. I'm doing good. How about you? What have you guys been up to?
Talking about movies and Tales from the Crypt. You know how it is, man.
Same old. Well, I've been a busy guy these days. Fridays are always busy for me now because we have, well, as you know, we're doing an Indiegogo campaign to raise funds for our Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film, The Sawyer Massacre. So that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre was important, right?
right. And the link is in the chat for everybody if you guys want to check it out. So
go check it out. And today is Freebie Fridays as well. So if you purchase something, I believe it's $40 or higher, $40 US. That is. I'm in Canada, so I don't know how it shows down there, but I think it's $40 US. Anything higher above that, you get something free with it. So that's pretty cool. And we only do that on
like
Friday.
free stuff.
Like free stuff.
Exactly. So how is the campaign going? From what I can tell, it seems to be going on a fairly upward trend.
It's done well over the last week. The last week is where we saw a real spike, which is good. But we have a long ways to go still. If we want to shoot it in Texas, because man, I really want to shoot this thing in Texas. But we still have a ways to go, and hopefully we hit that goal. I'm pretty confident we will. But either way, the film's getting made no matter what. But we want to get that Texas goal, so we can't do it without your support. We've got another big goal coming up. We want to be 25% funded by April 1st in order, and if we do, everybody's going to get another freebie. We gave away freebies for hitting our first goal, which was just 10% funded, but everybody got something free because of that, and we want to give away more free stuff. So who doesn't like free stuff?
Exactly. I wish I had a little bit more spare cash laying around because I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of those perks you have are they're pretty crazy. That's really really cool. Some of the things you have on there because you got some screen use masks.
Those are pretty cool.
Right.
Those are pretty cool.
One of the things I ordered a pretty cool shirt. Plus, you can even get your name in the credits for just a few dollars. I think it's like $4 US. So it's you get a special thanks too. So it's really cool, man. I really like what you're doing with it. Obviously, I've had you on twice already. Damn it.
Yeah. That means I didn't annoy you the first time, I guess.
No, not at all, man. Actually, this is all based off of how much I liked your Halloween ranking. No.
Oh my God. Did I do a ranking of Halloween? I think I did. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. That's around the time I met you. So
okay.
It's just joking with you, man.
It's crazy. Real quick, I guess it's nuts, man, when it comes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's such a cult film and have so many followers, such as myself, and I think all of us here. It's been popping up a lot lately. Like I went to the mall the other day and I saw there was a guy in the store wearing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt. He was just shopping. The guy working was wearing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt. Me and Whitman, we do a podcast, a Graveyard Talk. We just got finished recording 4 audio episodes of a whole thing talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're doing this thing, and actually we mentioned you too. So
maybe that's why we've seen a good spike. I don't know. It's been I don't know. I'm humbled. I can't believe we've had this much support. But I truly believe we're going to make a pretty special film for all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans out there, and just check out our teaser. I mean, a lot of people love our teaser, so
they're killing.
I can't believe how you guys said it last time. Yeah, how much you like the teaser. Right. I'm happy you guys like it. I was worried we weren't going to pull it off actually, because the day we shot that teaser, it snowed in Texas. And we had to improvise. Oh yeah, it snowed in Texas the day we shot that there.
That's crazy because it looks fucking
amazing. We had to think on our feet.
Right. Leatherface saves Christmas.
That's what you need to do. After you get done doing this movie, you gotta do a Leatherface Christmas special. As long as it's better than the Star Wars holiday special, I think you'll be doing good.
That's not a very high bar.
No, it's definitely rated the worst TV special of all time. Anyways, we got some more people here. Right. We got some more people here chiming in. We got Ron sitting here. I'm so shocked that I can see Chuck's chin.
So is Chuck. Yeah.
And just to throw it back a little bit, quite a few episodes ago, Chuck was offered a lot of money to do a shaving live on air and refused. And I mean more than a couple $100 was on the table. So, we got Dave chiming in. One of my favorite movies is Wayne World, which came out the same year this episode did, and both star Tia Carrera. And as we'll find out later, obviously the Tales from the Crypt one was the last role she ever did because she dies in this movie. Anyway,
literally, right? Yeah,
right, for real. And Ron says, "I'd love to give Tia a pearl necklace and some jewelry. I know exactly what Ron's talking about."
He's being
God. There.
Right. Sam's chiming in. Hey, I spoke to Jack earlier today, and I'm only here for him, so I'm gone since he isn't here. Oh, and he says he is the star. Oh, I'm so happy Jack has a real friend.
He's the starfish.
At least he's not bugging us right now. So we got Mandy Cantone chiming in saying, hello, Mandy. I'm assuming this is somebody you must have brought over.
I guess, yeah, she's a regular on my show. Hey, Mandy, how you doing?
She says, a Christmas special sounds awesome. Right, I can see it now. Putting decorations on the Christmas tree.
Send me the script, Mandy. We'll have a look. Because I ain't writing a script for that. No way. But yeah,
I would have no problem trying to help write a script for that. Right. He paid Samuel to be here, which is probably true. Jess says, Tia Carrera was my second crush. First, obviously, being Lucy Lawless, and that makes perfect sense. And man,
I'll agree with that.
Hot back in the day. What can you say? It was fucking Xena. And Avery, how you guys been doing today? Pretty sure we're all doing fairly well.
So far, so good, Avery.
He says, "Oh no, I'm here for him." He says, "I get to bug you all night." Ha ha ha. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna have fun with that either way. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started in talking about this episode. So, this episode of Tales from the Crypt is obviously from season 4, episode 3, On a Dead Man's Chest, and this is based off of the.
It sounds like really a bad movie.
On a Dead Man's Chest.
Shiza.
When you add that to it, it does.
Of course.
This is based on the Haunt of Fear issue number 12, and this was first released or aired June 27th of 1992. And as David went ahead and said earlier, it was directed by William Friedkin, who did the Good Time, Sorcerer, The French Connection, The Exorcist, Killer Joe, The Hunted. Dude's been around, and obviously we get to see some connections pretty quickly with some of the titles of his name compared to some of the things that he added into this episode as well. This was written, the screenplay was written by Larry Wilson, who obviously best known for Beetlejuice, The Addams Family, Little Vampire. Not to mention he did like 5 different episodes of Tales from the Crypt too. So obviously a classic when it comes to writing horror movies, especially with Beetlejuice and Addams Family under your belt. It's hard to deny the talent there,
Yeah,
definitely.
And now we're gonna get to the part where I start fucking up names because we got
my world.
Yul Vasquez. I don't know. Maybe I got it right.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
We're gonna pretend.
We're gonna pretend. Kinda is good enough for me. So
me too, buddy.
Right. He did actually did a lot of voice acting, which I thought was pretty interesting looking into him. Things like Courage the Cowardly Dog. But he obviously did a bunch of movies too, and TV. He did a few episodes of Seinfeld. He was in Bad Boys 2, The Box, Little Fockers, The Cobbler, Narcos, The Outsider. The Outsider is actually a pretty decent one, which I don't know if you guys have watched it or whatever, but it's worth a watch. We got Paul. Yeah, we got Paul Hipp as Nick Bosch. And he best known for Lethal Weapon 3, Face Off, Bad Lieutenant, Midnight in the Garden of Evil, and did some TV too, like The Connors in the Middle. Yeah. We got a lot of talent in this episode for real. Tia, who's been mentioned multiple times on this already, who is obviously best known for just being Cassandra on Wayne's World. Let's just be honest about it.
Well, I mean, wasn't she in True Lies also?
I'm not sure.
I've seen that movie.
She was in True Lies. Yeah,
that's what
she
I thought.
was.
Yeah, see, she's another thing.
She was also a Showdown in Little Tokyo. Kirby Enthusiasm. Relic Hunter for like a few years on there too. I think she was like the main star of that show.
Yeah.
We also got Sherry Rose in this, and she was in Killer Crocodile, First and 10, which coincidentally enough is kind of cool because that was John Cassier's one of his early roles on HBO as well. He played the field goal kicker on that, and then went on to obviously voice the Crypt Keeper. She also did like these like kind of like softcore porno movies, at least from what I've read, called Black Scorpion. So if anybody's familiar with the movies Black Scorpion 1 and 2, let me know what they're about. I'm kind of curious on the plot of it because it looks like a superhero movie, but it's just different.
If it's softcore porn, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I bet Jack has it on VHS.
A whole lot of boobs and a whole lot of man ass. That's about what
the runtime on this made it look like there was actual like a story at least.
Bill Hicks has a whole thing about it. Anyway,
I don't know. We got Heavy D in this as Farouche.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Greg Allman. He's in here as well.
Legend.
I don't feel the need to really say because everybody's saying like what Allman Brothers. Like there we go. You got Steve Jones.
Yeah.
Hulk. You have Sex Pistols. And who else did you say was in this, Chuck? Did you say there was somebody else in this?
Rudy Sarzo. Rudy Sarzo, I'm pretty sure is the bass player for the band. I'm pretty sure it's Rudy Sarzo. If you're not familiar who Rudy Sarzo is, he played with Quiet Riot, and he went over to Ozzy Osbourne band when Randy went from Quiet Riot to the Ozzy Osbourne band. He's an amazing bass player. He can play. He's a great bass player. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's him in the movie. But I didn't look it up. I should have.
Huh? What was his name again?
Rudy Sarzo.
I'm not seeing it in here, at least in the full cast of it. He might have been uncredited though. That especially in the '90s, that happened quite a bit.
He was on something, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was. That's why, yeah.
Right. So, anyways, Chuck, before you go ahead and start talking about this, let me go ahead and finish catching us up with these comments here. We got Ron. So, do we get to rib on you like we do him? I'm assuming he's talking about Chuck.
Oh God! No, I'm the savior of this episode here when it comes down to that. I'm okay. Don't be mean to Chuck. Okay, Jack's not here. When Jack's here, be mean to Jack.
Right. So speaking of Addams Family, John asked if play Gomez Addams appeared in the episode Top Billing. Very true. We talked about it when we actually did that episode.
It's one of my favorite episodes.
I got better comebacks, so watch out. We're getting threats, so it's kind of like we have a troll, Steve.
It's all good.
David, the episode also stars the late rapper Heavy D. Yes.
I don't know if Heavy D died. Did he die? When did he die?
Did he die? I'm not sure if he died. I'll be honest. Like I'm not too much of a.
You're not big into rap.
Yeah, it's not for me. But it doesn't mean it's not good or bad. Yeah, he died 2011. Dude, that was 10 years ago.
I might have known that.
There you go.
There we go. Now we look like assholes. So
I'm pretty sure I knew, but I'm burnt. So
so many people die, right? It's hard to keep.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I've become that fucking guy. It's like, hey, that guy on that team, he die? He died last week, didn't he? And then they're alive still. Like I'm only 38, and I feel like I'm 68. And I'm just like, that guy, he died last week, didn't he? No, he's still alive. Yeah, okay.
Yelling out kids on your yard.
Damn kids on my yard. Yeah, I do. I'm an old man.
So, anyways, Chuck, man, let's have you break this fucking episode down for us. I know you, especially you. This is something that, a fun episode. And coincidentally enough, Steve being a music guy as well. Like, wow, what perfect episode for everybody to kind of join in together on.
We're a bunch of rock and rollers, man.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, Chuck, go ahead, man. Let's hear about this episode.
All right, so this is an interesting episode because I'm the whole musician thing. I get suckered into it. So the whole music, bands, anything like that, I want to watch it. So it was really cool that you had me on this one. Just wanted to say that real quick. You have this rock star guy who is a complete pompous ass, and he sings for a band that I'm pretty sure might have existed at one time called The Exorcist. And he kind of right, yeah. He has this whole attitude like an Axl Rose or a anybody in the 80s, pretty much, or early 90s. And him and his guitar player have an issue, and the issue is his guitar player got married. He got married to what he sees as an overbearing woman played by Tia Carrere, whatever. I can't remember her name.
Carrera.
No, I mean like the character.
Start with an S. Scarlet.
Scarlet. That's right. Yeah.
Well, we could just call her Cassandra for the sake of this.
So the Danny doesn't get along with her, and the guitar player has an issue with this, and he actually brings her up on stage after announcing that, hey, his guitar player is off the market now, and he gets her on stage, and he's kind of joking around. It's all happy and fun, and then he's like, "Get this bitch off stage," blah blah blah. Guitar player doesn't like that because who would like that anyway? Don't talk to my girlfriend like that, my fiance, you dick. And you find that they all live together, which is just stupid. And the lead singer, Danny, ends up hooking up with a groupie. And she has this tattoo that he really enjoys. And he sees it while he's fucking her. And she's like, well, I can get you one of these tattoos or whatever the hell. And fuck. He gets kind of weirded about it when they go to actually visit Heavy D. Am I skipping shit?
Not really.
I'm just trying to.
You're still on track for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she takes him to this tattoo artist played by Heavy D, and at first he doesn't want to go into the studio. He's kind of weirded out about it a little bit because she has to leave, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And he goes in there and he tells Heavy D's character, I can't remember what they call him in it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's like, I want a tiger. And he's like, I can't remember what he calls the thing or whatever. Cause it's a tattoo
story. He says your skin tells a story.
That's right. Yeah. And it's pretty much whatever it feels like needs to be on you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, not just the normal tattoo, and it's the old school, like, ink and hammer kind of thing, chiseling ink into the body and soul.
Well, he kind of hints that he's from Haiti.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like
kind of a voodoo aspect going on in his studio. He knows more about things than he probably should, that kind of thing.
Not very sanitary, touching a skull before tattooing somebody. Like, that's how motherfuckers get AIDS and shit. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, but you know what though? The singer of this band, Danny, he's a dickhead. And he kind of deserves what he gets. Completely. Oh my God.
That's why he did it.
You're right, exactly. So he gets this tattoo, and when he gets the tattoo, he realizes that it's like a dragon thing, and it's Scarlett's face. And he flips the fuck out, and he's like, "What the hell? What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm not paying you for this shit." And so he gets pissed off and goes finds the group, and he's like, "What did you do to me?" She's like, "Oh, I know a guy we can get it taken off." He tries to get it taken off, and he can't. They do surgery on it, and it just comes back. Well, after fighting and arguing with Scarlett and his guitar player, trying to keep his band in line, but he can't even keep himself in line, the tattoo drives him insane through the whole time. He can't get rid of it, like I said. And finally, he feels like the only way that he can get rid of it is he has to kill her. Well, they're playing their show. I don't know how far away their house is to this show. It's almost like they're living upstairs.
I almost got that impression too, because just the amount of just how quickly everything went. But we'll get there in a little bit.
I mean, they had to cut it down for time reasons or whatever. But yeah, they're obviously not that far away from the venue. No. But Scarlett is in the bath. The guitar player's already gone. He's already at sound check. And Danny is there at their house, and he's creeping up the stairs, and he goes into the bathroom. She thinks it's her. I can't remember the guy's name, the guitar player. Thinks it's her fiance, Nick. And she realizes, Nick. She realizes it's not. It's Danny, and she realizes real quick that Danny's not just coming to say hi. And he bashes her head, strangles her, and leaves her a mess. Yeah, that's pretty. It's a pretty brutal scene. It really is. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even go there. There were some weird thoughts. I was like, man, this is actually like a really brutal fucking scene when you actually look at it. So he goes back to the venue, and Nick hasn't seen Scarlett, so he's like, where's she at? Blah, blah, blah. And Danny's in the green room in the back, in his own little backstage area, with the groupie chick. And he's like, I killed her. I fucking killed her, blah, blah, blah. And that's after like him and I guess Nick or whoever started arguing or something. And he went out. That's what it was, because Nick was asking him about if he had seen Scarlett. And he's like, no, man, like, it's weird, And then like he closes the door and tells this groupie chick that, hey, I killed her. And she's like, oh, that's so hot. And it's like, what the fuck? Well, they end up going on stage, and the guitar player comes back and all that shit. And they go on stage, and Danny's shirt starts moving, like something's moving around in it and stuff. And he runs off the stage in the middle of the song after everybody's been waiting forever for him to get there. Maybe I jumped back a little bit. Maybe this is when he's in the backstage and all that shit. He told the groupie. I could be fucked up about that.
Well, the whole moving thing happens on stage and then goes backstage.
Right. Yeah. But when is it? When Nick is looking for Scarlett? Is it after that moment?
No. Nick's looking for Scarlett before then.
Okay, so I'm right about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Nick had sent one of their roadies to go to the house. That's what it was.
Yes.
Well, when Danny goes off stage, he realizes that the thing, like, it's coming out of his skin. There's a pretty gory scene of this dragon thing leaping out of him. It's pretty killer, actually. And it, oh shit, how's that's pretty much how it ends, right?
Well, no, like, while that's happening, the groupie lady that he was talking to beforehand was telling the cops and everybody that, he ended up killing her.
Yeah.
And he's inside there, like, his, obviously all torn up because he cut the tattoo off with a piece of glass.
Yeah.
Which,
that's when he's admitting to it. That's when he's admitting to it to Nick that he killed her. He's like, dude, I killed her twice, or whatever. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right. Yeah. It's it is crazy. So, and that's pretty much the whole episode. It's a good job.
Yeah.
Chuck. Good job, man.
Thank you very much.
So, before we get into the comic book comparison, I'm going to go ahead and catch up on these comments again. So, let's see here. We got. Sorry, Chuck. Only a guy with a small beard can sound like that. The snake tongue that comes out was freaky. Yes. In fact, he's
what?
He's talking about the scene with the girl in her boob. So
no, I was talking about what he said beforehand about me having a little beard. Leave me alone. I'm growing it out. Okay, I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up. All right, and now I look like this. Leave me alone.
And we got David chiming in. The scene where the dragon tattoo comes to life and bursts from the guy's chest is very similar to the chest burst scene in Alien. Walter Hill, who had directed the episode, the man who was death, had wrote the screenplay to Alien. Yes, and actually had quite a bit to do with a lot of the Tales from the Crypt stuff from the 90s, to be honest. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into our comic book comparison. So
let's do it.
Obviously, these original comic book stories came out in the 50s, in between 1950 and 1955. So usually there's some kind of adaptation that has to happen over time to make it more palatable for people in the 90s, if you will. And wow, is there some fucking big changes in this episode, man. So there's no music aspect at all. Nobody's musicians.
Really?
In fact, our main character is a rich sailor guy who, not like a Navy sailor guy. He's wealthy. He owns these steamships, but a whole line of them. And I don't know, this is a huge fucking difference, dude. That's for sure. And he's actually the one married to, not his friend. So he is the one who's married to a woman named Helen in this. And he has a friend of his named Larry who is in the scene too. And Larry's kind of after Helen in this. So instead of it being more of like somebody actually hating somebody, it's more of like a triangle type love story. And after him going and making advances towards Helen and stuff, and her turning him down, they all leave a party together drunk, and he goes to a strange tattoo shop where this strange tattoo artist, and they never really explain anything. He's just a normal tattoo artist as far as like this goes. They don't show him doing any like old fashioned things or anything like that. It's very, very typical tattoo artist for the time period. And he does the tattoo in 2 hours and they leave. And once they leave, and he's drunk, so he ends up passing out. His wife's starting to talk to Larry, and kind of now he's interested, and they kind of want to get rid of her main guy, Steve, and just have their own thing. And the only way that they feel comfortable to do that is for Larry to hold Steve down while Helen beats him with a club. And the only other difference really other than that is after this happens, the tattoo that he had, which originally the original tattoo he wanted was himself with his best friend Larry and his wife Helen. And then once he dies, the tattoo just on his chest changed to himself being held by Larry while Helen's beating him with the club. Helen obviously thinking that this is kind of messed up and she needs to defend herself now and act like this is a whole like self-defense thing, goes and shoots Larry to kind of like get rid of any more evidence to it. And like that's pretty much like the whole thing. It pretty much ends like right there. It's very fucking different though, man. It's not even close to the same fucking episode like at all. Like, the main concept is there, but that's literally about it for this one. So anyways, before we get too much into what we thought about this, we're going to take a small commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment, guys.
Are you a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books? Then Epic Tales from the Sewers is a podcast for you. We cover the comic books, video games, movies, cartoons, and anything else turtle related. We talk about the toys, we talk about the cereal, we talk about all the fun things about turtles that we love so much. So give a listen. You can find us on iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Check out Epic Tales from the Sewers, part of the Epic Airways podcast. Give a listen, dudes. Cowabunga is this podcast for you.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music. Pants. Quoting video games that don't have dialogues. Shabibans. Tasty news.
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
Butt breathers. Uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey,
They might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Dorkening and Inebriar podcast networks, with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or any podcast player cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all things that make growing up awesome.
Everything about our food is changing. The way we cook it, the way we eat it, and the way we share it. And that's why I'm encouraging you to come and check out Pardon My Fork. Conveniently packaged in hour-long episodes and available anywhere you find your favorite podcasts and at pardonmyfork.com. We are talking to home cooks, chefs, Food Network stars, and world food champions. So cleanse your palate and come and get a heaping helping of Pardon My Fork.
Hello, this is the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and paranormalpunchers.com.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. A whole new season of spine-tingling.
For the first time in We're Not Afraid of the Dark history, we're actually going to watch a erotic scene
together. Just a couple brothers watching porn together. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, on air right now. This is the biggest plot hole I saw this, by the way. How in the fuck does she take him back in town for
But she made it a point to bump him. But no, I agree.
How do you not catch this?
I was drunk when I watched this.
Whoa,
So were we.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just this giant fucking board right here ready to lock down.
Like it has hooks that you latch the fucking door to lock it.
She is on Mr. Skate Up, I'll link in the show there. She's just gonna, and she's listed as great nudity. She's a red-haired girl. They say she has great natural tits.
See?
You seen her black people in this episode?
I like how she's exercising while eating it, and then she's in the bathroom taking a shit, reading the story, and the plate's on the floor.
Man, this is also the first episode where our main characters aren't just a bunch of generic white kids.
Hey there, and welcome back to Tales from the Podcast. I'm your host, JB, with my co-host for this episode, Chuck Nasty. And of course, our very special guest, Steve. How's it going?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. That was an awesome break. I had so much fun.
Love those commercials.
Right. So, anyways, why don't we go ahead and talk about what we thought about this episode, as well as give it a ranking between 1 and 10. So, Steve, being the guest, I would want to know what you thought about this.
Ooh, well, I love Tia Carrera.
Yes,
especially back in those days. I mean, so that already gives it a 5 for me. Already, at least a 5 is guaranteed if you got Tia Carrera in it.
Right.
I kind of like the themes they're going for. There's almost a little bit of that Yoko Ono-ish vibe, with Tia Carrera, and I mean, yes, they're both Asian, whatever, but that
wasn't going to say anything,
but yeah, but and who knows if they were trying to do that kind of, maybe, who knows? I have no idea.
They probably were.
Time back then.
Well, with the Crypt Keeper segments, we almost kind of, because like at the beginning we have him dressed like Elvis, and at the end we have him doing the whole Sgt. Pepper's get up.
Yeah.
So,
just saying.
There is a connection. I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know if if that was what they're trying to do, but who knows? Again, different time. And
I just giving you shit, man. I just giving you shit.
So, hey, I'm married to an Asian, so.
Oh, see, hey.
There you go. I love the Asians. I love Tia Carrera too. Don't tell my wife.
I'm married to an Asian person. I like the movies a lot, but that's besides the point. This isn't a show about how much I like those.
But what else could I say? As a music guy, I dig that because I've been there. I was in a band in my early 20s, and I kind of there was a similar incident where a member of the band had a girlfriend, and all of a sudden she was trying to take over the band, and we've kind of heard this story before, but it is a real thing. It is a real thing. Like I said, I've been there, and I would say that in my case, that girl pretty much did break up the band. I ended up leaving the band after that, but so obviously this episode went to some major extremes, but I like it. Right. I like it for sure. What else could I say about it? It reminds. You know what? Seeing any Tales from the Crypt episode just brings me back to the '90s when I was a kid. Yeah, just even seeing the quality of the the quality of the film, whatever. It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It looked that bad back then. That's like it was a squished screen kind of thing. Everybody looked. The camera adds 10 pounds. That's the thing they used to have back then. I don't think you can say that anymore.
I hope that's the truth. God, I look horrible right now.
I don't think you can say that these days anymore.
Shit. I don't know. Let's find out if we get canceled. Chuck, the camera definitely added 10 or 15 or 20 pounds or 30 pounds.
Well, let's see this out right now. It's you guys. My girlfriend called me Fester earlier, so okay.
You can kind of see the resemblance. You just have to do Jack Hunter and put on the guy liner.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'd rather not.
That's fair. So, anyway, Steve, where would you rate this one at least?
The groaning. Yeah,
that's a tough question.
I would probably give this about an 8. I find it enjoyable. It's maybe a tad predictable. That's probably the only points I would dock it. But I love the actors in it. I love that '90s feel. Even though I can see that the quality isn't, up to. It's dated for sure, but I love it. It has a charm at the same time. It's like Trailer Park Boys. I don't know if you guys watch Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, fuck yeah. I actually got to go see them once.
Oh, yeah, really? Cool.
Yeah,
I'm Canadian, so I've known about Trailer Park Boys since they were nothing in the States. But, the first time, I remember the first time I watched Trailer Park Boys back in like 2003 or something like that. I thought, wow, this really looks bad. Like the style of the filming looks pretty bad.
Like Cops.
This is an awesome show, though. This is such an awesome show, But it doesn't matter how bad it looks. It looks so low budget, but it's awesome. I love it.
Right. It's weird to think that it looks so low budget, but it has so many famous people attached to it.
Oh yeah. Rush, come on.
Yeah, definitely. So, anyways, to keep it going, Mr. Chuck Nasty, why don't you tell us what you thought about this one, buddy?
Well, I am in a band now. I've been playing in bands since I was about 15 years old. So I too understand certain situations that happen when it comes down to girlfriends and other members of bands and people causing issues. I also understand the LSD. The LSD is the lead singer disease, which a lot of lead singers have. And I hate to say it. The lead singer of this band, I couldn't stand him. And I hate to say it was because I was him at one time. I wasn't, I never killed anybody's girlfriends or anything like that. I wasn't that full of myself, but I did a lot of drugs in a certain band I'm talking about where I was kind of, I was very bossy and stuff. So I didn't like this guy because he was that part of me. I'm so glad I'm not anymore. But I did have fun watching this episode. It's always been a favorite of mine. Again, the music thing always grabs me. Tia Carrera, am I even saying her fucking name right?
Sure.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah. She's adorable. I like the fact they were called the Exorcists because that was, like I said, that sounds like it actually sounds like a underground punk band or some shit, so I kind of dig that aspect of it. I love the fact
who directed the
Exorcist. The Exorcist. Right. Makes sense. And also the fact that I love the Sex Pistols and the fact that Steve Jones makes a appearance with his raggedy ass. I do like this episode a lot. I think it's a cool story. There's some cool gore in it. I think I'd probably give this one. I'd probably give it an 8 as well, because in true Tales from the Crypt form, the asshole of the future usually gets what they deserve, and this guy, I'm pretty sure we didn't get to see what happened afterwards, but I'm pretty sure his life was ruined.
Oh yeah,
and that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's true. We don't get to see anything after that, but like let's just be honest, and I'll go into my review with it. With that fucking gaping hole in your body, you're not going to be living too much longer to begin with.
No,
so you do have that issue there, and it started out like this, and it went to hell. But all right, as far as what I thought about this one was kind of weird for me, and I guess a lot of it has to do with the fact that with these comic book comparisons, this didn't have too much to do with the actual original story, and I think they kind of did, like, they reached too far going with like a supernatural tattoo artist type thing, going with that whole vibe to actually get this whole story going and everything, because like in the original one, they're like half the stuff that happens isn't even there. It's not even existent whatsoever. It's more cut and dry, but the fact that they were able to turn it into this, I guess, is still pretty cool. But like the practical effects, so they're on point. The blood, the gore, it's all there. It screams Tales from the Crypt. We got our we got our cheesy bands and our Elvis lookalikes. We got our women in here. Everything hits every single point of a Tales from the Crypt episode. So at least as far as that goes, I'm gonna have to give it I'm gonna go with like a 7. It's better than the average, I guess, but it's still not like a top tier episode for me, like Lower Berth or I Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. There's so many episodes that are significantly better. I actually me and the wife just watched that one again earlier.
I love that. That's my favorite one, dude.
No,
you know that. I've told you that.
Yeah. Tim Curry, dude. Tim Curry in this episode. I fucking love it.
Salesmanship.
It's the greatest intro. But anyways, we're not talking about that episode this week.
I wish we were. Why can't we? Can we just walk over that one?
Nah, well, we got a whole nother season to go before we get there. And
I know.
So that movie is going to be a fun one too. I can't wait to do fucking Bordello.
Oh yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Oh, I've had people waiting to be on that one for a while now, to say the least. But overall, though, I still thought this was a decent episode. Like I said, the practical effects are just fucking on point. I love it. That's one of the things I always look at when I'm watching these Tales from the Crypt episodes. Is especially because the time period they came out, there really wasn't too much CGI, especially for their budget. So just the effects that they have in general are just fucking incredible. And we got Sam chiming in quite a bit more. He's going to go ahead. He says he gives it a 5. He felt like it was rushed. Yeah, I can see how
it was. I can see that. Yeah,
but he goes and says he would replace it to 6 and thinks it's predictable. And obviously he loves Death of Some Salesmen.
Yes,
It's a very, very loved episode. What can you say? But overall, I still thought it was a fun episode, and it's Tales from the Crypt. You get what you get with it. So there was unnecessary like raunchiness to this that was kind of weird, and I know Jack would have loved it and everything, but like I don't know, like some of the stuff was just ridiculous. Like the amount of times we had to see her boobs, and then her. I
mean, I was cool with it. I don't know why. Like what? I mean.
Right. Well, I'm just like, it's just unnecessary, is all I was saying.
Okay.
Kind of going to like one of the things that Steve mentioned too is about like the quality of this. So I'm going to go ahead and give another shout out to a good friend of the show, John Acevedo. He actually runs a channel on YouTube called CryptTube, where he is going through and re-rendering all of the old Tales from the Crypt episodes and re-releasing them in 4K for free on YouTube. So
awesome.
he's not as far as we are in the show yet, but he's more than likely going to catch up past us since we only do this every other week. And yeah, he's going quicker than that. But
it's pretty cool he does that.
Oh, dude, for sure. And like he's an awesome guy too. Like he's been part of the show for quite a while. Military issues made it where he had to step down for a while. But still great guy, and if anybody wants to go check him out, dude, I strongly suggest checking out that CryptTube channel. He does a fucking killer job and really knows his shit. So, anyways, that pretty much does it for that episode, dude. So, Steve, I want to say first off, thank you so much for coming on again, man. It's always a fucking blast. And can you tell us, dude? Like, I know it's Freebie Friday, and I know you still have a few more hours left because you go by your time zone, right?
Yeah, Pacific time zone. Yeah,
right.
So a few more hours.
Can you tell everybody what they might be getting if they're able to, in the next few hours, actually donate that $40 to your Indiegogo campaign, which I will also post in the comments once again for everybody to check out?
Sure. So you actually get something different at every tier that you donate at. So the $40 level, that's the poster and the script. That's the first level, and that tier is you get the digital download that comes with that.
Nice.
So it's not that much at that point, but it's something cool, little something extra you get to have with it. I think it's pretty cool. Then when you hit the $100 level, again, that's Canadian. I'm not sure what it says in US dollars, but you get either the free poster or the signed script that I'll be signing because I wrote it. So I'd be the one signing it. Yeah. Then once you get up to $250, again, Canadian prices, you get the free set photos. So all the behind the scenes photos that we're going to be taking on while we shoot the film. So that's a pretty cool thing to have. And then once you get to the level of when a couple people have done this now, get the extra perk, which is about just around about 500 American, I believe. Once you get to that level, you'll get the free advanced screening of the movie. So you get to see the film before anyone else. We'll be doing that probably over Zoom or Skype, something like that, whichever can hold enough people. I know Zoom can hold a lot of people, so I'm thinking it'll probably be Zoom, but who knows? We'll see. And then once if you do the associate producer or higher, then you get two free replica masks that we do. They're just replicas. They won't be the screen used ones, but yeah, pretty cool perks. Pretty interesting stuff for sure. And they'll be
really cool.
I'll say there'll be two different masks. They're not going to get the same mask. We have multiple Leatherface masks in our film. Not just one mask.
Right.
I won't say how many, but there's more than one.
Looks like you already have a pledge. You'll get my money, Steve. Anything for the film world. Keep up the good work.
Awesome. Well,
nice.
Remember,
we're gonna hold them to it. No.
Well, I
better donate. No.
I gotta say, man, like as a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, and I've been wanting something else, something kind of breathe a little new life to it, whatever, to kind of continue some shit. I appreciate the fuck out of you for doing this, my friend. So I hope you get everything you want with this. Hell yes.
Oh,
yes.
It's been an awesome journey, I'll say that. And I'll say this too. I know a lot of people don't think another Texas Chainsaw Massacre film needs to be made, and I can agree with that to a point. But I think why I want to do this is because I think there is a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre film that just hasn't been made yet.
Yeah, true.
It's there, and I just people are missing it. They just don't see it, and I think I can show it to them.
Oh yeah, man. I think you can too.
You can. I've already proven that.
I hope so.
like I wouldn't ask anybody to go and help anybody out if I wouldn't do it myself. So I've definitely donated myself and everything.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping that this is going to be something really good, and I really hope that you're able to actually get to. I kind of hope you're able to surpass your goal because I'm really curious on quite a few things that you have going on with this extra house, some actors that may or may not be involved at some time. You know, like there's.
Did you catch my clue Did you catch my clue on the live the other day? I did a Facebook and Instagram live. I gave a clue to
Chuck doesn't know your clue though. Would you be able to say it again for him?
I guess I could do this since you guys didn't catch the live, and I want to make sure everybody.
I did catch the live. I was there talking to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Chuck didn't.
I can't remember.
I unfortunately wasn't. I'm sorry.
Chuck didn't. No.
So when I first dropped the news, I had said that this is somebody that is connected to the original, connected, not necessarily in it. So that's a small clue, but it's still a clue to keep in mind. But this person was also in a little film called Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's all I can say. I can say. I wish I could give more.
And Chuck's just like me, where there's like 15 names popped in his head the first second he heard that. Like
faces, not so much names, but faces, yes.
I'm actually surprised that my DM whatever hasn't flooded with messages saying I think it's this person. I had one, and I had one, but I think just one. So that's what I thought people would be guessing and think I think it's this person or whatever. It hasn't happened yet, surprisingly. So
now question: if anybody guesses right, will you tell them they got it right?
Nope.
See, that's the whole point why I haven't said anything yet. I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like I can ask him 100 times, but he won't even tell me probably.
Yeah, I can't. I wish I could, but
right.
Well, I might say maybe or
tell everybody else somebody else is in your movie. No, I'm joking. So, anyways, man, like always, dude, it's been a blast. I absolutely love having you on. Obviously, we hope the best for what you have going on.
Yeah, man.
With this. But it's very obvious. Clearly all your links are going to be in the show notes for this as well. And like it's been posted multiple times throughout our Twitch, our YouTube, as well as our Facebook channel for the Indiegogo. So people, if you got a little bit to spare, it's little, if you're in the US, that $4 will get you a thank you in the credits. And it's not much, but if everybody's able to give $4, you're able to help a dream come true for somebody like Steve and be able to make a awesome fucking movie in Texas.
Yeah, man.
Oh God,
keeping the family alive, man.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's all his family, brother.
Right. So, anyways, dude, Steve, thank you once again, man. Is there anything that you would like to share with everybody else before we go ahead and start to wrap this up and drop you down?
Just that we're approaching our second goal, which the deadline for that is April 1st at midnight, April 1st. We need to be 25% funded. If we get to 25% funded by that date at midnight Pacific time, again, it's my time, Pacific time, everybody will get another freebie. And it'll be kind of a mystery freebie. Now, you guys have both contributed, so you guys got our first freebie. That was sort of our first little taste of what you can get for freebies. And the freebies will get a little bit better every goal we hit. So let's hope we can hit all these goals, and then you guys get all kinds of cool free stuff.
I'm hoping for it. I'm waiting for you to hit that goal where everybody gets a Leatherface replica mask.
Gotta hit our goal.
Is that like the $200,000 goal? It costs a ridiculous amount to make all those. I'm surprised with some of the things you're giving away, though. For real, like they're not cheap items. That's for sure. And
I think I've been pretty reasonably, as far as giving stuff away, and even the prices on our campaign are pretty reasonably priced. So. But I want to appeal to people the best I can. I want to hit our goal more than anything else. I want to hit that goal so that we can get it to Texas. And I've found ways to accommodate. So that's what it's about: is being accommodating as possible, working with good people that can just do shit. And I'm lucky enough that I'm working with people that can do some awesome stuff. So yeah, that's why I can do it.
That's awesome, man. We'll you already know that you got us over here rooting for you the whole time, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude, definitely.
Right. So thanks again, Steve, for coming on, man. Feel free to stay down there if you'd like to chat afterwards. So everybody, please check out Steve. Check out his Indiegogo. Check out what he's doing. Check him out on Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, all the links are going to be in the show notes for everybody. Thank you once again, Steve. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. Oh, you're very welcome, buddy. So
I like that guy, man. He's a good guy. I like
dude.
it.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's pretty nice, that's for sure. Like I'm still kind of amazed. Like he's like those replica masks are not a cheap thing to come up with and actually produce to a point to do like like to give away things. Like that's fucking insane.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. I guess look at this. Jackie Poo's back. Yeah, I like free. We all know.
He gives it free too. Oh.
Haha, way to be, Jack. Am I too late? Yes, you are too late. And I hate it when it ends. I look forward to every week and it's just too short. Well, I guess we're gonna have to start doing longer shows, guys, just to appease Sam. Not really.
I mean, okay.
We'd have to start doing more things and coming up with more content then. And nobody's paying us enough, unfortunately.
Well, it happens.
Right.
This is a passion thing when it comes down to it.
It honestly really is. There's really no arguing that whatsoever, man. But anyways, dude, this has been a fun episode, dude. I'm happy.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. I'm really excited that Jack was able to miss this one so I could have a decent conversation about a great episode.
Yeah, right.
It definitely makes it a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear all this shit. He's gonna be sitting there talking, which he says, "Nice banner."
What did he just say?
Sam, he says, "Nice banner." Sam says, "Jack, look, Chuck has no beard." So Chuck, man, anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this shit up, dude. Do you have anything you want to add?
Just that my band Bastard Sons of a Judas Code, we were trying to finish up recording for next release, and my other podcast from Romero Pictures, Nasty Nation and Graveyard Talk. Check those out, and stay high.
Right. Sounds great, man. So before we go ahead and leave, the last thing I want to go ahead and mention is our episode next week, which obviously going to be Friday at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for next week, we're going to be talking about the movie Hollywood Warrioress with Deborah Dutch herself, the star of this movie. As well as one of the, I don't know if she was the star, but she was definitely one of the ladies in the sorority girls in The Creature from Hell. She had a role in that too, which I know Chuck is quite the fan of. She was also in a Arachnado that we did.
Yes.
Like it's to the point where it's like we can't avoid seeing her. So we're just like, no, we got to get.
Might as well bring her on.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a fun time. That's for sure.
I do too.
She's a great lady. That's for sure. And I'm very interested in the stories that somebody like her, or somebody like she. So no, I said it right the first time. Somebody like her is gonna have, especially when talking about doing movies throughout, because she. Throughout decades, really.
Oh yeah, she's done quite a few. Yeah.
So she's gonna have stories that going back to a time when you probably shouldn't have stories. So maybe we could get some fun ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best not to bombard her about sorority girls. I've got questions.
I feel like if anybody's gonna have answers, it's gonna be her.
It's true. It's true.
Right. So, anyways, with that,
Diane Sawyer, this shit.
No, we won't.
Just kidding. No, we won't. What are we talking about? I don't know what's going on.
So with that said, guys, the crypt is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.